This is a video for corrections for the initials homework, the homework that you're using the line function to make your initials. This video obviously will use the line function to make my initials, which are not probably your initials. But if you tried and you weren't able to complete this assignment and you uploaded your attempt, then just follow along to this video and you can make my initials and submit those for corrections, and that will be fine. Okay, so I'm going to start out by doing 2 forward slashes as comments and just writing what the assignment is. And now I always want to start with the size function to make the size of my output window. This is up to you, but I like 500. It's a pretty decent size to see on the screen. It fits on the screen, which is important. If either one of these parameters exceeds the size of your screen itself, you won't see the whole thing. Okay, then background. I'm going to go up to the color selector. I'm going to pick some light blue color, click copy, X out of that, Command V pastes, and then if I play now, I've got a large light blue box. So now I'm going to pick a color that I want to make my lines, so that function is stroke, and I'm going to go up to the color selector and pick a different color, because if I use this same color, we will not be able to see it. I'll pick yellow, copy, Command V to paste, and I'll put a comment that that's yellow color. Then I want the lines to be larger than 1 pixel thick, so I'm going to use stroke weight, and I'll put 5 to have them 5 pixels wide. Remember that capital W in the middle. And now I'm going to make my lines. It's kind of tricky sometimes to wrap your head around the idea that the origin is in the upper left-hand corner in that output window in processing. So I've made this little graph paper illustration here with some tick marks marking off pixels by 100, roughly evenly spaced. This can be found on the Haiku page on the Unit 1 page if you want to download it and use it. I've opened it in Paintbrush. So I'm going to make an E. So the first thing I want to do is make the top of that E. So if I want the first point of my first line to be here at 100, 100, and the second point of my line over here, that would be 200 pixels over and 100 pixels down. So I'm going to make that line from 100 over, 100 down to 200 over, 100 down. So back here in processing, that's my first line. 100 over, 100 down, and I'm just putting a space. You don't need to put the space, but this is just for ease of viewing. Do 200 over, 100 down. So I'm going to play now. It's a good time. You can play often to make sure that what you've done is where you want to put it. So there I go, top of the E. Now over here. So my next line, I want to be this line here. I already know that that starting point of the line has the same starting point as my last line, 100, 100. And then for the next point, I'm also going to go 100 over, and this time I'm going to go 400 down. So I'm going to make a line from 100 over, 100 down to 100 over, 400 down. There you go. All right, next line. Now I want to go this line. So I know what this point is because it's where I left off. It's 100 over, 400 down. And then now I want to go 200 over, so it's as far over to the right as the top line here. And it's still 400 down. So line from 100 over, 400 down to 200 over, 400 down. I can check. Great. Now the middle. So if this is 100 pixels over, we want wherever that middle point to also be 100 pixels over. How far down? So if the top one is 100 pixels down and the bottom one is 400 pixels down, then this distance is 300 pixels in length. So halfway down would be 150 pixels down. Oops, that's supposed to be a bracket, but it's not. That's also supposed to say 150, but it doesn't. 150 down but I'm starting at 100, so that's going to be 250 down at all. 100 over, or it starts out at 100 here, add on 150 halfway between the top and the bottom, and then for a total of 250. So that will be a line from 100 pixels over, 250 pixels down, and then I want it to be maybe not quite all the way over to 200, so the middle line of the E is a little bit shorter. So let's have it be maybe 150 over, and then still 250 down, because it's a horizontal line, so we want those Y's the same. There we go. All right. I'm going to put just a comment above this line that says E, so I know all 4 of those lines are for the E. Skip a line. Again, this is just to make it easier to read. You don't have to skip lines. I'm going to put the M here. I know these next 4 lines will be the M. Okay, so I'm going to skip a little space. Maybe I'll start here for the M. So that's going to be 300 over and 100 down, so it's the same height as the top of the E. So that's a line from 300 over, 100 down. And then I'm going to go, it's going to be 300 over again, and then the bottom should be the same as the bottom of the E, so that's 400 down. So 300 over, 400 down. See how that looks? Beautiful. If I do say so myself. Now, time for a diagonal line. Okay, so let's say that next point is going to be like here. So it's going to be halfway between 300 and 400. So that'll be 350 over. And then farther down than 100. So let's try a line from 350 over. My first point, of course, is the top of the M here. So that's 300 over, 100 down. That's this point. So that's 300 over, 100 down for the X and Y. And then I said 350 over. And then how far down? Maybe let's say 150 and see what that looks like. Okay, so that's not like a very steep drop. So if I wanted to go back and adjust that, that means I might want this to be a little bit farther down. So maybe instead of 150, I could try 200. And I like that better. So I just went back in and changed this last Y value to make it a little bit bigger so that middle of the M is a little bit farther down. So to make the line going up then, I'm going to have that same point where I left off, 350 over, 200 down, and then I want to go to 400 to make them evenly spaced, because 300 to 350 is 50 pixels, so 350 to 400 would be another 50 pixels, so I'm going to go 400 over, and again, 100 down. Oopsie, that's a little high there. It should have been there. Oops. Riveting stuff, huh? There we go. And then that last one will pick up where that last diagonal line left off, so 400, 100. And then it's going to be 400 over, and how far down? 400 down to be at the bottom. And there you have it.